comes out, you're going to end up hurting yourself, and you could potentially end up hurting others. And this is me speaking from experience. Being a people pleaser can become a major issue in your life, especially if you find yourself trying to please man more than you're trying to please God. This is something I had to basically hold true to myself. And it took me honestly to go to therapy to recognize just how bad of a people pleaser I was. Always wanted to be liked, always seeking approval from others, never wanting to be the bad guy. And it's not saying that you don't treat people with respect. It's not saying that you don't treat people nice. It's more so when you always seem to put people's feelings before your own feelings. When you can't fear when you have to voice your opinion or you have to communicate to resolve an issue. You know, something with me is I don't like conflict. And there was times I would rather bury something and avoid having discussions to avoid conflict altogether. Another major issue with being a people pleaser, like I said, putting people's feelings before your own. No, you have to voice yourself. You have to get those things out into the open. Because if you don't, they'll just fester inside of you until one day you can't take it anymore. And then when you finally release that anger, when you finally release those emotions, it's going to take so many people by surprise, and they're not going to understand why everything is coming out the way that it is. They're not going to understand why you did what you did. They're not going to, it's going to go over everybody's heads because they're not going to be ready for it, because they had no clue everything that you were dealing with. It comes out, you're going to end up hurting yourself, and you could potentially end up hurting others. And this is me speaking from experience. You can't be, not saying that you can't be nice, but you have to be very careful with trying to be pleasing to everybody. Establish those healthy boundaries. Voice yourself when you're frustrated, or, you know, there's something going on that's just not sitting right with you. Don't be afraid of conflict especially when you're trying to resolve an issue in relationship. Not saying anything physical, but just be able to communicate effectively to resolve it. Get your emotions, get your feelings out in the air so your friends, your partner, they understand exactly what you're feeling and you're not holding anything in. Make sure others are pouring into you, your relationships, that your friends, your partner, that they're pouring back into you. You can't always be pouring out to others, because at some point you're going to be pouring from an empty cup. God bless you, and I pray you have a good day.